I'm so glad you found my channel, Sweet Uniquities, where everything I do here is always sweet and custom for an event, making it a true uniquity. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're headed to the Dollar Tree so I can share with you all the really great ways for you to save money on your own sweet uniquities. So let's get going. Okay, so I'm gonna go in. I'm not gonna vlog because I'll be real honest, I don't really know what that means, but I'm not gonna vlog. And secondly, I don't need to be shutting down Dollar Tree with pandemonium of my stardom. Like if I'm videoing, people be like, oh my gosh, she's a star. And you know, I'm gonna be like on TMZ and they're gonna be saying Sweet Uniquities shut down Dollar Tree, you know, because people wanted autographs and pictures, and I try to be a responsible star. I'm not going to do that to Dollar Tree. I love you, Dollar Tree. So, no, in all honesty, that's just weird, like to go in there and video. People be like, who does she think she is? So I'm going to go in, I'm going to get the good stuff, and then I'm going to take it home, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have a great time. All right, so starting in the craft section, I pick up these little paint wells. I don't know what you call them exactly. I took the tag off, but you get 6 of them, which is amazing. And I use them when I am going to paint on fondant. I pour my food coloring in here. They're great to mix, or they're great just to you know, put a small amount of paint in there so that you can use it as your palette. I also get these inexpensive paint brushes. I don't use these to really paint with, but I use them as mixing brushes. The bristles are really sturdy and they don't give you fine strokes, but they're great for mixing. And so if you mix dark colors and you don't want to wash them, just throw them away. So you get 12 of them for $1, so great deal there. The next thing that I picked up were these little palette knives, and I have never used these from Dollar Tree before. I actually have real artist palette knives and yeah, palette knife is what they call them, from like Michael's that I picked up in their art section, but these would work very well for a beginner and someone who doesn't want to spend a lot of money, but they're great to pick up little details of fondant off of your countertop and to, you know, lift things, little pieces around. So I think that this would be a great little tool for a beginner. In the toy section, oftentimes I always go through there because they often have little things that you know, you can use for cutters, little cookie cutters and little fondant cutters. And they have this right now by a brand called Dough. I wonder where they got that. But there are some really great ones. There's like a butterfly, and these are actually great sizes for cupcake toppers. There's a shell. There's lots of different things. There's a little roller, and there's some things in here you'll probably never use, but there's a heart and some other things. But a lot of times I use cutters to create shapes or edges that I need to do custom work on, because there's not always going to be a cutter if you need to do a specific design. So if you have an unusual shape, like for example, I don't know, this is I think supposed to be a lemon, but this kind of oval curve, I might use that for something sometime because you're looking for that specific design and you don't want to have to do it freehand. So for $1, I think that these are some great little fondant cutters. There's a moon and such in there, so fun there. Over in the kitchen aisle, this is kind of nice. You may have one of these, but it's nice to have a separate one that you just use for your cake stuff and your cupcake stuff. I use these kinds of things to do edible glitter. Like if you want to just put a little bit of edible glitter, just put it in there and put it over there. That way you don't have powdered sugar or baking cocoa or whatever. You know, sometimes it's nice to have one for your baking and then one for your decorating. So this is great. The pizza cutter is nice because you can cut pieces of fondant, so this is a great tool for $1. I love these splatter guards. I use these all of the time. I probably have 6 of these. I use these to dry my fondant on because it gives air movement underneath. I oftentimes, in a cool oven that's not been turned on, once I do my creations and I want them to harden, I'll just set the rack into the oven. And because the holes, the mesh is very tight, it gives a really nice base for your toppers to harden and not fall through. So I love these. I use these seriously all the time. Okay, so this cookie sheet is, you know, kind of crappy, I'll be real honest, but it is sometimes nice to have something to keep all of your Sweet Uniquity stuff together. And a lot of times when I'm doing things with with confetti, like I'm sprinkling custom confetti, or I'm doing specific projects. It's nice just to have a designated small cookie sheet. So these might be nice. You might find them not helpful. You might be able to use something you already have. But if you don't really have a cookie sheet, it's nice to have something like this to kind of keep everything contained when you're doing sprinkles and decorating that's kind of messy, and then the little balls go all over your kitchen. I also picked up a sharp knife. I think these are great to have when you are doing details and you need to do something with fondant and that's precise. These little knives are great for something like that. I also picked up a little sprinkler, a little shaker. I use cornstarch a lot. A lot of bakers will use, or a lot of creators will use powdered sugar. So these are great just to kind of sprinkle your powdered sugar or your cornstarch on your surface before you start rolling out your fondant. So these are wonderful to have so that it's all, together. All right, so the next thing I have are these little, out of the I don't know, where they have the plasticware. They have these, and I love these because sometimes, and we'll do some creations here down the road where I actually demonstrate with these, but these are great to put your cupcake in and then wrap them up so that they kind of have a protection. So I use these a lot, and they often get some that have decorations on the bottom, but right now they're just the plain ones, but they make a more secure presentation. So these are great also to have. I use these. Sorry. So sorry for the rude interruption. Sometimes my producer gets a little out of control. But anyway, back to the parchment paper. This is great for melty wafer, the chocolate wafer discs creations to make designs on and then peel them off and just throw these away. Easy cleanup. I like these because they're already kind of flat and there's no real curl to them, so they are just a little easier to work with than your traditional wax paper. All right, so moving on into the beauty aisle, I picked up these Wet n Wild brushes, and we talked about these in my fall leaf topper program or video that I did. I love these. They're nice and fluffy. They're great for blending in petal dust and luster dust. So I think these are great. Get them in different shapes and sizes. You will use them a lot if you're interested in doing those types of things. I also picked up these little hair rollers, and I've not used these before, honestly, but I know these are going to work because they're similar to some things that I have used in the past that were more makeshift. But when I make flowers, fondant flowers and leaves, you do oftentimes need to prop those leaves up so that the petals and the leaves they dry in the shape that you desire. And so I'm going to cut these into different lengths, and I'm going to shove those underneath my little petals, and I think we're going to have some great results. So let me know if you'd like to see some flower designs with fondant soon, and we'll try our little hair rollers out, but they do come in different diameters, so we'll start with that one and see how we do. Okay, so now onto the baking aisle. Who knew they had little jimmies? They had rainbow jimmies, and I couldn't remember if I had any, and since I have a sprinkle problem, I went ahead and just picked them up. But the beautiful colors, so I'm excited to have those. And then also from the baking aisle, I picked up some cupcake papers. So I'll be very honest, not all brands are created equal in cupcake paper land. Some brands, for whatever reason, as your cupcake cools, the paper will move away from the product like it's scared to stick around. And so I really encourage that before if you find something you think is a great bargain, you may want to run home, use them, and make sure they're truly give you the product that you desire, the end product, before you spend a lot of money. Because even at $1, if you don't get a good product, you've wasted your $1. But they have Wilton brand right now, which was awesome, and they have these pretty purple ones, and I got a couple of the white ones. So the Wilton brand should be great. This is a brand called Bake Fresh, so we shall see how those are, but you get 90 cups. So if those are good, those are about a little over 10 cents a piece. So a penny a piece. So that is a really good deal. So, all right, so check that out. The next thing is the best score ever, and there is a YouTuber. Her name is Bethany, and she's this cute little thing out of Chicago. and she does all these Dollar Tree hauls. And then she's a crafter, so she does all of these crafts and designs and things with Dollar Tree items. I'm fascinated by Dollar Tree crafters because I watch them all the time. I'm obsessed. I never hardly ever do anything they recommend, but I find them fascinating. I'm amazed with what they can do with Dollar Tree items. They just completely transform things. So she was doing a video this week and she was like, oh, I found these really great things from this guy named Buddy the Cake Boss. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? So I'm just telling you, this is the score of the century. You need to run, not walk to the Dollar Tree to see if you can find these things. I'm telling you, the value is amazing. And make sure that you are, of course, following the local, traffic laws, because I don't need you, messaging me saying I got a ticket, sweet Uniquity, because I didn't stop completely at the 4-way because I was so excited. So you should be very excited about this if you at all are interested in cake designing or cupcake designs, or have somebody on Christmas list that is kind of into it. These would be great little stocking stuffers for those people in your life that find that interesting and fun, like me. But they have the circus one. This one's the sports one. There is also a flower one that my friend Jody, thank you Jody, I couldn't find it at mine, but she lives in another part of the world and she found it at hers, and so I'm gonna get that from her soon. And then on another video that Bethany just did, she does a lot of them, she showed the same brand, the Cake Boss, and it was the winter one, and so there's snowflakes. So I've got to find that one. So just so you can understand the value here, it's $1. So all of these piping bags, so that's great in itself. There's 2 piping tips. There's embossers to emboss the sports balls in the design of the ball to give it the details. There's all of these little cutters. Look at this cute little jersey. It's just so cute. And I will be honest, even if you never do sports, the circle, there's 3 stars. The football shape is also like an egg shape, so you could do lots with that. So the value, I can't even believe it. So I'm not really sure what happened with Mr. Cake Boss's program, but it's all at the Dollar Tree right now. I'm not finished. There is also piping tips, and I'm so excited about this. I bought a couple of these. I use this tip all the time. There are, oh, I lost one. Where did it go? Anyway, there are 5 tips. I use this one all the time with my cupcakes, but 5 tips and a coupler for $1. That's crazy, crazy, crazy good price. And there are also these cute little stampers, fondant stampers. These would be so fun to do with, your kids or your grandkids or just the neighbor kids or whatever. There's the little trucks for the little guys and the little girls and the little princess. There's 4 stampers in each, again for $1. Fantastic. Then I have 2 rollers. Oh my gosh. So these are fondant embossers. And so you roll this on the fondant and it gives the design. So this is kind of like a swirly, this is a swirl pattern, and then this is a flower pattern. So I got one of each of those. And so when I make my toppers, a lot of times if I don't want them completely flat, the embosser will give that beautiful design in the background. So I use that a lot. So I'm excited to have, I've never had a roller embosser. I've only had the embosser sheets. So I'm excited about that. So that's all the Buddy stuff. While I went to, like, I don't know, seriously, 3 or so Dollar Trees in my area trying to find all this stuff. And I found Betty Crocker fondant topper kit. I mean, I was like, who knew Betty Crocker made fondant? But anyway, I don't know how great it's gonna be, but I am gonna work with it. It came in a pink, a yellow, and a purple. Kind of weird shades of colors, but still fun. I'm hoping that it's workable. I'm hoping that I can actually make it work, but we're gonna give it a try. And also, thank you, Betty. You also gave us not just 3 things of fondant, you also gave us 4 little cutters. So these you could use for, cookies as well, but these are great little basic shapes for, cupcake designs. So that's it. I have a mess here, but I'm just telling you, I had the best time, and I seriously cannot believe this Cake Boss stuff. It is such a score. Now, don't pout if you don't score anybody's stuff. I will tell you the other items are equally as fantastic because they truly are things that I use all the time in creations, and I think that you will find them helpful. So anyway, I hope that you will consider subscribing and liking, and please comment what item you think that you might actually go and spend your dollar on to start your own little world of creation. So anyway, thanks so much. Have a sweet and unique day, and we will see you on the next video. Bye bye.